bhogashrayodbhavaha hiranyagarbhasthulesmin dehe vaishvanaro bhavet taijasa vishvatam yata devatiryang naradayah te paragdarshinah pratyak tattva vivarjitaha kurvate karma bhogaya karma kartum cha bhunjate. Okay. So last week we saw the process of what is called Panchikaranam. Panchikaranam means that the process of grossification. So that was needed because if the basic requirements of the jivas is to be fulfilled, then you need a method for it to be, you need a way for them to fulfill it. So what happens is that each one of us takes a new beginning for a purpose. And in this sense, the night and the day are very good examples, really. So when you go to sleep, during the deep sleep state, you have no desires. You complete free of itcha, desires. Why? Because you are totally fulfilled. You don't lack anything. And so you will only have desires if you lack anything. Only then you will say, I want to do this. When people say, I want to do this, that means they don't have it. They want to do it. And so in the deep sleep state, you are in Anandamaya Kosha. So there's absolutely no desires whatsoever. There's no reason, etc. But the only thing is that the seeds of desires are still there. It's just that they are unmanifest and absorbed in the deep sleep. So they are not really, they're not available to you as a jiva. In fact, your status as a jiva is absent. You are not there at that time. And so the desires only come in when the jivatvam, the status of being an individual, is there. If the individual is not there, desires are also not there. And so that's what happens. So then in fact, it's interesting, we are actually at this point in the Mandukya Karika. You're using that verse where there it says prabuddhyate, which we haven't really discussed. That's going to come up next Saturday. So prabuddhyate means that you are woken up. You're woken up. Woken up means, it's a very important thing to see, you don't wake up by yourself. You will actually given to yourself, you will never leap deep sleep. You will just stay there. But that doesn't happen because there are forces that wake you up. And along with somebody that might say, hey, come on, get up, you're getting late, you've got to go to some office or something like this, you also have internal pressures that are there as vasanas, waiting to fructify. Excuse me. So those internal vasanas wake you up. Anyway, to summarize this transition from nighttime to daytime, the reason you wake up, that's all I wanted to really say. The reason you wake up is because you have desires to fulfill. Unfinished things are waiting for you to fulfill. And so therefore, you have an entire set of equipment available for you to fulfill, starting with hunger. Starting with hunger. You are just hungry, so you now need to find something, some food. You cannot live on air alone, so if food has to be there. So you're looking for food. You have to make arrangements for food. This is why you find it is such a tragedy that children many times don't have enough food. You imagine their mothers and fathers who just can, the hunger is a very big problem. Amazing. And if you are a homeless person here, even in the Western countries, it's just what a tragedy. Because hunger is the most basic of the desires. And because hunger is given by Ishvara, you cannot even say, I don't want it. Only things that you originated can be given up. So if you wanted to say, wouldn't it be nice if we went to a movie today? And then you find that the movies are all getting sold out and the prices are getting very high. You can say, okay, forget it. I'm not going to go. So movie going you can forget about. But hunger was not provided by you. It was provided by Ishvara. It's not going to go until you fulfill it, or if you die of hunger or something. Anyway, so the day indicates that your desires have to be fulfilled. Similarly, you are born to fill desires. The very reason you are born. So by this time you should be very familiar with the fact that the death and birth are just another way of sleep and waking up. Is all it is. It's a very small difference. You just have to come up with a new body and stuff like this. But it's identical. Identical. And so, just like you have a number of unfulfilled desires that are waiting to fructify after a night, similarly, there are various vasanas waiting for you to fructify, and therefore you have to be born. You have to be born. And in order for you to be born, once you're born, you say, okay, here I am. Because I've got some desires. Who wants to love me? So the parents say, okay, we'll love you. They give you kisses and so on and so forth, huddle, hug you and so on and so forth. And then milk has to be provided, food has to be provided. And then you look around and say, what else? Anything else? Then words, languages, and so on. This is exactly what happens. So the two are very similar in terms of fulfillment. So now, Ishvara has already knows this, and so Ishvara has already provided a mechanism for you to fulfill your desires. And for that, grossification is necessary. Grossification is necessary. So Panchikaranam is necessary because you need to have solid food. You cannot have thoughts of food and say, okay, that's even worse. You have more thoughts you have about food and you're not able to fulfill it, then you are in deep trouble. So you need to have some solid food. So solid food means Panchikaranam. And so that we saw in verse number 27. So it says, on number 27, we saw Dvidha Vidhaya Cha Ek Ekam Chaturdha Prathamam Puna. We saw all of the how it is done, so I won't repeat that. Then we started on verse number 28. So basically what it is saying is, trying to figure out the picture, just 1 second. So
sideways, so I don't know why. So camera or something.
Yes, I wanted you to check it.
sorry, just a brief interruption while Chawla is figuring out the picture of the broadcast.